Welcome to Fort Worth, Texas, and Amon G. Carter Stadium. And anytime the TCU Horned Frogs take the field, they have a standard, a legacy to live up to. One that was established by the likes of Slingin' Sammy Baugh, Davey O'Brien, and LaDainian Tomlinson. A late season top 25 matchup on hand with a couple of college football's premier teams preparing to square off. As we'll see, the number 15 team in the country, the Penn State Nittany Lions, taking on the 10th-ranked team in the land, the TCU Horned Frogs. 48 Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. The Nittany Lions will kick it away to start us off. Fair catch called for and made. Showing plenty of pre-snap movement of their own. The give to the back. Crosses the 30 to the 31, a 6-yard gain. One of the offshoots of expansion, particularly in the Big Ten, was how viable could the ACC remain, and it just sort of ramps up the stakes when they meet on the field.
Yeah, I think all of this conference realignment, all the money talk, the loss of rivalries, but it's the haves and the have-nots. And let's be honest, the SEC and the Big Ten are the big two gorillas, right? Anytime you can make a statement and dent these two big powerhouse conferences, they'll do it.
I think the ACC, too, is going to play with a chip on his shoulder. Back in conference realignment, it was the best 4 programs from the Pac-12 that all chose the Big Ten and not the ACC, so this one will be interesting.
When the running back gets going and gets ahead of steam like that, so hard to get to the ground. That's why you blitz. That's why you bring pressure. That's why you bring more guys in the box so you can get him before he gets going. But once he got going, you could tell it was hard to get a hand on him, hard to get him to the ground.
And the defense snows him under after a very short game.
You know what I really like about games like this at this point in the season? You find out who you are. You find out whether you're going to stay in the race.
And who can step up and handle the challenge, right? This is easily one of the toughest games to date for both of these programs coming into this one. So there's a lot of eyeballs, David, on this game to find out who's mentally and emotionally the toughest.
Yeah, and we're going to point to this game as we get later in the year and big decisions are made. You've got a top 25 win. You beat them in the middle of the season, X, Y, and Z, so these are big for the resume.
Looking to pick up a first down on 3rd and short from the 43. Fights off a defender. He gets it to the 38-yard line, and they'll pick up a fresh set of downs.
I think it's really important for this offense. They get this guy going early in the game, and they're doing a nice job of that right now. Remember, he's the kind of running back who gets better as the game goes on. That's a really good omen for this offense, considering his success now early.
The Horned Frogs are moving quickly down the field. A little pre-snap eye candy for the defense. Makes his connection. There to make the tackle, but the big throw is good enough to give them a first down.
QBs, when you see zone coverage, man, can you manipulate defense when you have a good pocket and you've got time to throw. He had a little bit of time to throw. You can move guys with your eyes. That drag comes wide open. Good throw, good catch, first down.
You've got to be loving what you're seeing from your offense here on the opening drive of this game. They're in a really nice rhythm. They've got real good balance going on right now, and they've got the defense on their heels.
Fast motion from the offense. Trying to get the edge with a quick touch pass. And they picked up 9 on first down. It'll bring up 2nd and short.
Man, the defense, you hold your breath. When this receiver has the football out in space, you have got to make sure you're playing with outstanding pursuit. Nice job there, but as this game goes on, they've got to keep an eye on this guy and make sure they know where he is at all times.
He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it first and goal.
Well, I know this is an offensive line that has a ton of pride, and they want to come out each and every game and really impose their will on the D-line. They got just enough push there on that run play to pick up the first.
Slams it ahead. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Horned Frogs!
You love as a head coach to watch your offense take the field and establish a rhythm and consistency the way they did there. Everything they dialed up was working to perfection. They go 10 plays on the opening drive and cap it out with a touchdown.
And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0. So it's a 73-yard touchdown drive. And finish the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. And he's going to bring it out. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. Can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
Timeout, Penn State.
Looking for a productive play on first down. Quick pass on the fly motion. Just wanted to find a little space to run and ekes out some to get it up to the 21.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the inside.
Throw him to the spot, and that's exactly what he did to pick up the first down.
And that's so many hours of doing this together. You know exactly when he's going to break on that out route. You know what kind of speed he has because you've thrown it so many times. Nice rhythm and timing, and you could tell that was experience between receiver and quarterback.
Stopped at the 42, but he got 15 yards on the play.
And that's why this guy is such a weapon in this offense, because you don't have to throw it far downfield. Just get the ball in his hands. He catches it close to the line of scrimmage, but look what he was able to do after the catch. He gets an explosive play for this offense.
And the Nittany Lions have it with a 1st and 10. They'll go to the fullback. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7. Stuck with a running game on first down. Now here they come again. On 2nd down, he's looking downfield. Setting up the screen. At the 40, there he goes. They finally get him stopped, but what a good job by that front wall to set up the screen and create some lanes for their running back.
Hey, man, sometimes you get the perfect play call at the perfect time. That time the defense blitzing, offensive line allowed everybody to run upfield, and they slip in the running back screen, and behind it there was nobody there to make a tackle, and this offense generates a massive play.
And with that stop, we are headed toward the end of the first quarter.
TCU 7, Penn State 0.
Second down here as they go back to work after the break. He's looking to throw. Working that left side now. And he's knocked down.
One of the things that makes this guy so dangerous is how good he is after the catch. If he's got any space around him, he's able to burst. He's able to make people miss and get extra yards for his offense. You saw it right there.
This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. This quarterback part of their running game. All kinds of running. Got enough space. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Nittany Lions.
I tell you, when this drive started, the defense thought they had them in a hole. Not anymore. What a performance.
And I really like the play calling by the offensive coordinator on that last drive. That was a nice mixture of running and throwing and getting different players involved. Really nice job, very poised in that play calling, and it showed up with the touchdown.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. TCU has it back in the Horned Frogs go on offense. If you like old-fashioned, grind-it-up, run-over-'em football, that last touchdown drive was for you, Jesse.
That was impressive, man. Great blocking up front and tough physical running by these ball carriers.
And now you wonder how the defense responds. Like, are they going to get way more aggressive to try to stop the run? I got to do something to break the rhythm of that running game.
They'll go to the ground. Works his way to the 38 after gaining 5.
Well, the defense knew coming into this one it was going to be a physical game. Guys are going to have to be great at the point of attack and get off blocks and make tackles. They couldn't stop the offense from picking up that first down on that one.
Wants to throw on first down. Grabs it inside the 10. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, TCU! How about that quarterback taking the shot downfield and delivering to the wide-open receiver?
I love this quarterback because he's aggressive. He wants to take shots. He's looking for every opportunity to show off that cannon and that arm talent. He showed it to all of us right there.
And he's going to try to return this one. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. Jesse looking to take it down the field for back-to-back touchdowns.
I think it's really important for them moving forward, too, to have a lot of balance, right? You want to be able to keep this defense guessing, Paul.
Yeah, and you got me searching for answers after that last drive. You stack another drive on top of this, their defense's heads are going to be spinning all over the place.
Kept it on the ground last time. Let's see if they go back to it on second down. The run to the right. And he's brought down, but a flag is also down. Just an obvious holding call there, and one that just kills an offense's momentum. Now on second down. He's looking to throw. And he got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete.
You know, it can be tough to throw slant routes, especially in the zone coverage. The timing has got to be so precise and perfect to try to fit it in that window, and they weren't able to do it on that.
They've got them pinned deep in their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. On third and long, doesn't need to take the check down. And down he goes back with the 3.
Well, the offense got themselves into trouble. They're back in their own end. It's an obvious passing situation. So the defense is just pinning their ears back, and they're trying to get after him. They could not allow him to escape, step up, get rid of the football. They take a sack very close to the goal line.
And the returner will be dragged down. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. That last drive really productive. David wound up with a touchdown. They'll try to do it again.
Yeah, so I don't expect this offense to change too much, Reese. They had a great drive. They got the touch.
And he's running in the open. Touchdown, Horned Frogs! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
And to have a rushing touchdown of that type of yardage, you've got to be able to make something miss. It's one thing to get into the second level, but can you make that last defender miss? And you saw it on that play. Once he was in the clear with his speed, he was gone.
Just into the end zone, and he'll bring it out. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game, so Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Touch pass on the jet sweep. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one.
Got to give the defense credit. Watching film, anticipating. They knew that this offense had this play in their back pocket. They knew about the speed of this wide receiver and different ways they were going to try to get him involved. Everybody on defense on the same page, playing together. I love it.
It's third down now. They ought to be able to get off one more play before the 2-minute warning. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Receiver looks it in, it's complete. And he couldn't quite get to the marker, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. The Nittany Lions will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. And this punt will be down just on the other side of midfield. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute, David.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
On 1st and 10 from the 38. They'll see if they can find some running room on the right here. A run up the middle is stopped for no gain.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
Got stuffed on 1st down. It's 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground to the right. Pick up a 5. They'll need 5 more on 3rd down.
Well, this offense came into the game knowing they wanted to be physical. They wanted to establish the line of scrimmage, and they're running downhill right at this defense, and they're churning out positive yardage early.
Here's the snap, looking to throw. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42.
You want to change some of this bad luck you've had so far around? Get after the quarterback and get his butt on the ground. Nice job by the defense. This game ain't over. It's still the first half. This is a good start.
And the Horned Frogs will line up to punt it away. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Fair catch called for and made around the 20-yard line. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. So late in the half, this is really an opportunity, David, maybe to swing the momentum in their favor.
Dang right. There's no time to be conservative. We're a little bit down. Listen.
He's into the open down the middle. He's inside the 40. Running inside the 20. Touchdown, Penn State! He shed tackles right and left and housed it. PAT unit on the field. And with the extra point, they're down a touchdown, 21-14. If only it were always this easy for the offensive coordinators. One play, big chunk yardage, put points on the board just like that. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. Now you find out just how much of a gunslinger you are. Will you roll the dice here late in the half, David?
And you know the defense is going to be really, really conservative, so I think it's an opportunity to be able to take a shot, see how much of a chunk you can get before then you decide really, Jesse, how you want to finish the half.
Just can't turn it over and throw a pick if you're the quarterback here. You've got to be so smart if you're going to be aggressive with your decision-making.
Receiver on the move gets the touch pass. He's past the 30. He's loose. He's at the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, TCU! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing. That touchdown gives his team a pretty significant lead at this point.
And that's what you want. You want to start fast. You want everything to come out and start clicking, make some plays. It doesn't always work that way, but when you do, man, the energy, the crowd, everybody's into it. Now the other team better respond.
And they did tack on that extra point with no problem. So here comes the kickoff after the touchdown, and the last thing you need right before the half is to give up a big return. Oh, he's going to go for the return. They finally make the stop. That's going to make those halftime stats look a little bit nicer as we head to the break. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. The Horned Frogs will kick it away to crank up the second half. He's going to bring it out from deep. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Down 2 possessions to start this third quarter. They'd love to build some early momentum.
You ain't lying, because you only got so many possessions here in the second half, so now you're down. I got to maximize every single one. Put your
all by himself down the middle. He's at the 40, at the 20, and he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Nittany Lions!
Love the play call offensively. They knew the defense were crowding a lot of bodies close to the line of scrimmage, and once they were able to get to the second level, all they had to do was make one guy miss and get one good angle. And with the speed that ball carrier has, man, that thing was a sure shot touchdown.
TCU 28, Penn State 21.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. the Horned Frogs go on offense. Jesse, a very productive drive last time wound up with a touchdown.
Yeah, mixing and matching play calling really well. Nice balance on that last one, Dave. Let's see what they can do here in this next drive.
Yeah, and I don't expect anything different. When you put together a drive like that, I would do more of the same. Keep the pace, keep it going.
Nine-yard pickup on first down, and now they can take a shot on second and short. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. Dragged down to the turf, but not before getting the first down.
When you think about when you hit those guys on the move, man, he's already flying so fast, and I got to adjust my angle as a DB and make sure I keep outside contained, and it's just it's a really easy play to run to get positive yards, especially in a situation like that where you're looking for the first down. You run that play, you get it. Nice, easy, breezy.
They'll go with a direct snap. Bulls his way forward.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
Got 8 on first down, now looking at a 2nd and 2. Motion trying to get the defense to show its hand. Fakes the grab on the left. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense.
Not a lot the defense can do on that one, guys. With this tight end size, he's really difficult to defend on these crossing patterns as he gets downfield.
And the Horned Frogs are flying down the field.
Get set, get set. Belly stutter.
To the air on first down. Throws toward the end zone. And that one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one.
And listen, as a quarterback, you're trying to find the matchup, trying to find who's open. I don't know if anybody was open, but that was not a greatly thrown football. I don't know if it was miscommunication, but the ball thrown out of bounds, and just on to the next down.
After the misfire, now on second down.
Easy. Low. Hey, Cam. Ready.
Here's the handoff.
There's really no secret to it, David. When this guy's running well, this offense is so hard to stop.
It opens up everything, and he's having a great day, showing you a little bit of everything, and this offense has got it rolling on the ground.
They'll try the left side. Runs through the tackle. They wrestle him to the ground, but he's got plenty for a first down.
Every offense wants to be able to run the ball and be physical, especially on first down. And you want to create second and short, third and short, or just get first downs like that run right there.
Jackrabbit.
They go to the ground.
Let's prepare to test the run. Game 2. Brings up second down.
Going to work on second down in the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Leaves it with the back. Running toward the goal line. It's a fumble.
You know, these running backs have to keep 5 points of pressure on the ball, especially against this defense that prides themselves on creating takeaways. And the offense, real lucky they jumped on that one.
They'd love to pick up this third down and get a fresh set with first and goal. Bully ball on third and short. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Horned Frogs!
Another rushing touchdown. That's now 2 on the game. This offense thought they could come into this one running the ball, being the more physical team, and they look like it right now.
And they stay on target with the extra point of 35-21. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Indiana is currently trailing in this one, but it feels like the tide may be turning. This program has picked itself up before, and it's capable of it again today. It's less than a touchdown lead. They're trailing by 6 to Pittsburgh. Your boy KC has you covered here in studio, guys, in case anything changes in this one.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere.
Take over. First and 10.
Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively...
And he will be sacked at the 6-yard line. They were trying to get the screen set up, but it just took a little too long to develop.
Yeah, and the quarterback's supposed to invite those guys to run upfield on a screen pass, but they got to him so fast he couldn't get rid of the football, and they got the sack.
Quarterback wants to throw on 2nd down. Caught in the backfield, it's Balkinson. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. How about this catch and run? He started generating more and more speed the longer he ran.
Yes, it takes a little time to rev that diesel up and get that thing rolling and getting ahead of steam. But once he gets ahead of steam, you better look out. Those little DBs, those DBs become ankle biters. They go straight for the ankles and dive at the feet.
And this offense just can't afford not to get the first down here. Already trailing big, and the clock is not their friend. Quickly complete. Gets the job done on 3rd down as he gets it to the 25 before he's brought down. 3rd down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
No, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmys and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
They'll power it inside with the fullback. Able to run it out to the 28 on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 7. He's looking to throw. Got his man quickly. Excellent job rallying to the ball, and they knock him down.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. With the score, TCU 35, Penn State 21.
Now facing a 3rd down as they line up after the break. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. And they're able to get a 3rd down stop here. See if they go for it on 4th. Down by multiple possessions, you can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. The jet sweep pass. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. That penalty moves the ball back 10 yards. We'll replay the down. Down by multiple possessions. They can't come up empty on this drive in the 4th quarter. They'll go for it on 4th down. Throws to the tight end. It's incomplete, and they desperately needed to keep that drive going, and they couldn't make the connection.
Yeah, and unfortunately in the fourth quarter, losing, you've got to put the foot on the accelerator. You got to make something happen. So I get they had to be aggressive and go for it. They just can't seem to get this offense to make plays when they need it the most.
Running to the left. Got some room in into the goal line. And he waltzes in for the score.